Okay, we're back out here. Going to get this tube inserted here back into the tractor, the hydraulic tube. I'll sit here and get some measurements and just make sure we get it in going in the right way, and we'll go from there. Follow along. All right, I've got this tube here, doing some measurements on it just to make sure I had it right. But as I look at it in more detail, I can tell that it's been machined down, and it goes from basically just over ½ an inch here at this end where it's like belled out like they do exhaust pipes and stuff when they insert one from the next. And then it goes down to midway here, so I don't know if you can see that, where it's machined here, and it's actually got a little ledge right there. You can see where it's real shiny here and dull here. It doesn't actually go all the way around, but right here it measures 0.486, and then as we actually 0.495 actually, so just under ½ an inch. And then here we get down to 0.486 or 486 thousandths. So it is tapered, and it'll insert from the front going in this way, and I guess this will catch the back end of the transmission, and this is I guess is an intermediary inside the middle of the transmission. And then of course this is right there where this is the end where we threaded on the old tube, and we'll get it cleaned up and inserted and go from there. And also I wanted to show the part number. I don't know if it was as clear on the first video I did where I showed the tube, but there's the part number, and it was from Cross Creek Tractor, I believe it was. And this is the pressure tube. I think they also sell the return tube as well. I think that's another 90 bucks. This was like 80 some dollars, and I bought it from Amazon just because it was just convenient. It was roughly within a couple dollars of ordering it directly from them, but it was actually their Amazon store. Again, that was Cross Creek Tractors. If you wanted to look those guys up, if you needed those tubes. And we'll get at it here in a sec. All right, one last thing too. What we're going to do, we're going to take this bolt here. I may cut the threads off of it just to use it as like a driver for it. And what I've done is found something that, I think this is like a 3/8 bolt. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, 3/8. So it fits in on this side really loosely. This is the belt end. So, but I went ahead, this side has actually been machined down, or the internal diameter is the same of the tube. So it still fits pretty loosely in here. So, you know, this end fits into the first part of the transmission, you know, very easily. So there's no fear of this bolt actually, you know, as it tightens down on it, it's not going to grab this bolt when I go, you know, stick that in there and then start driving it in. But I will cut some of the length off of this just to be sure, you know, so that way it'll catch the end of this the tube solid around, so it's not actually, you know, as I hit it with the hammer, or it won't damage the tube. I thought about machining something here, but you know, it's still going to have some pretty wide tolerance here, so it's really not necessary to do that effort or you know, go through that. So we're just going to use this bolt, but I will cut it off here. All right, there it is. I just cut it off and stuck it on the grinder and made sure there was no burrs or anything, and tapered it real good. Even went around and kind of made it a little bit smaller, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's probably not. The problem I'll have is because it's not long enough. It was probably unnecessary because the thread section was actually smaller than this, so it's all good. It'll work just the same. I also wanted to show you this. This is the manifold. You know, it goes in the tractor kind of like that up underneath. But I just wanted to show you, this is where that hydraulic tube is. I don't know if you can see that, where the tube actually doesn't line up exactly with the hole. You know, you can see it's off-centered a little bit, so it does look like it was pushed up in there. So the tube itself was sticking out flush with the end of, basically flush with this, you know, minus the little gasket here. So what I'll do, I'll get ever so close there, and I think what I'll do, I may leave it a little proud to when we go bolt this up. I may just have it so it hits that, and then the bolts will kind of hopefully maybe drive the last little bit in there. I guess it depends on how easy. I'm able to drive it in there with the little bolt here that we cut off here once we put the tube in. So we'll probably take the tube and get some clean oil and lube it up a little bit. I did try to dry fit it, and it goes in there pretty rough, so it's going to require a little bit of a tapping. It went in about halfway before it started getting hard, so, and I could tell it was, you know, I think being lubed up, it'll go in a lot better, so we'll lube it up and get it in. Yeah, and also, I went to Walmart and got me some, they actually had this at Walmart, tractor and hydraulic transmission. This is the same fluid I think they use in all 3 chambers. Of course, this is the cheapest stuff you can probably buy on the market right now. It's probably, who knows the quality of it, but I'll probably put some better quality in it, but I'm going to use this initially as kind of like a flush to, you know, because I did put diesel fuel in there to try and clean out some of the sludge in there. So, you know, we'll put this in there the first go around, maybe run it for a few hours, and then look to get some better quality oil. I'll do some research to see whether or not this does, but my intent was to use this as a kind of as a flush on the system. And I did the same thing on the oil. I'm going to use the same kind of Super Tech oil in there the first time, just to kind of flush out some of the contaminants and stuff that are in there, hopefully, and then drain it out and then go with something a little bit better quality, or at least a more name brand thing. But you know, who knows? That this stuff is probably packaged in the same as the Exxon Mobil's and the Pennzoils and the whatever, but yeah, I don't know much about oil, so I'll leave that to someone else. But all right, let's get set up and get this tube in there. All right, so we're going to try and get this tube inserted here. So we've got the bell end on this end, and we can see where it's machined down, so it goes in, inserts from this end in. So what we're going to do, we're going to take and dip it down in this oil. And take and stick it in. And I think that's, I don't know, that's pretty solid there. Not sure if it's because the tube is bent and maybe getting it in there, or maybe we have to start tapping it. So we'll put our bolt in here, and we'll get a rubber mallet here. We'll try the good old Harbor Freight mallet. If not, we've got a hammer. We'll try that and see where that gets me. We'll put the top back on that and slide that out of the way. Probably should have lubed up more of the tube, but let's see what happens. Moving slowly, but hopefully we're not damaging that tube. Oh, there we go. We must have got through that something. Who knows what it is? That feels pretty solid there, though. This is probably why they say pull it out of the tractor. So. Probably should have went with a tighter fitting one, because I'm thinking that slapping action of that bolt against it's probably doing some damage to the end of this tube, but it's going in pretty easily. harder than I thought it would. Oh, there we go. Well, it looks pretty good. There we go. Now we're getting to the brass taxes there. This is where it's probably going to start requiring some effort. I'm kind of scared of, maybe I need something a little bit, I'm thinking I need a little bit, something a little bit, stickers out a little bit further, and actually is a, something where I can maybe hold here against the tube so it's not constantly slapping across there. It may not be that big a deal because it doesn't look like it's damaged with that, because I haven't started hitting on it to melt anything. So let's move to, I can feel it better this way. That rubber hammer is too much bouncing. Hopefully you're not getting my face in there in the way, but it's still moving pretty good. I don't see any. It's probably, I don't know if it's, oh, that thing's heating up the tube. I don't really feel anything. Normally that's what happens, it'll start. Nope, don't want that to happen. Let's clean that off. Not that it really matters, but that is dirty oil, but don't want to put any more of that back in there. Doesn't feel like it's done any damage to it yet. We're getting close. We're probably a quarter of an inch from being home completely. All right. Now I'm thinking there's could have come out with a piece of angle iron, drilled some holes in either one is, that's a thought, and put that in there and then just slowly press it in. I'd have to come out and space it out a little bit so that I could get clearance for the nut. I don't know, let's whack it a couple more times. What's the worst could happen? End up having to thread it and pull it out again. Hey, then maybe you'll get to see that again. Oh yeah, that's probably pretty close to where it was. I think it's a little bit further in. That might be it. Well, let's see. That's probably just a hair. I had a straight edge across there, and I think it's still a little proud. All right, let's see. Let's get a straight edge or something. Go across there. Here we go. Little cheap framing square. This is really the precision instrument. Yeah, I'm sure. Let's see here. Pull this out of here. Let's see how off we are here. Yeah, she's still proud of it. Got to go on a little bit. From, you know, what I could tell, just based on measuring, the tube was actually flush with the face of this. So it looks like we just have a little bit further to go to you know what we could do. That's pretty close there, I think. There's probably some measurement I could do to, oh, I got it on that lip, that's why. I think it's still proud. Yeah. It's still significantly proud of that. We'll give it a few more wax. What we will do is we'll get the air compressor over here and shoot some air in it and see if that, of course we'll have to put the drain plugs back in the hydraulic area, but this is where we'll speed up the video. I'm thinking that's pretty close, actually. We'll give it 2 more little taps. Yeah, I think that's as far as I want to go. Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty close to flush. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see. You probably can't see that. I think we're going to go with that. That's pretty close to that. So, tell you what, let's actually, hold on. I'm going to have to cut the compressor on because I drained it. I had it set to drain, so I'll be right back. All right, we've got that tube inserted now, so let's try and do a little test. I got the air compressor filled up, so it's ready to go. Take that off here. Got the air hose over here. Make sure that's clean. I've already got a little oil stuck on this end of it for some reason. All right, let's go here. Oh, sorry. There we go. I don't know if we'll hear anything. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, there's the drain plugs are still out, but I don't hear the gush of air, and I think it's whatever resistance is getting into the hydraulics. I'm probably pushing. Hopefully, I'm not pushing sludge inside the transmission there. I mean, into the hydraulic system there. But I guess we'll figure that out. All right, so I think we're golden. I think we'll get this manifold cleaned up so we can reinstall it. I'm trying to decide whether I want to paint it before I put it back on there, because it's missing quite a bit of paint on this side of it. But I'll clean it up and we'll see. Well, it would make sense that parts cleaner solvent is probably just as bad for paint as carb cleaner. Oh well, I guess we are painting it now. I'll say that red's, once it's cleaned up on this tractor, it's a pretty close match to that paint that I've got. So yeah, I think I will paint it. Okay, we've got the manifold cleaned. We've got the tube in. So I hit the camera tripod. So I think we're good. I think this will wrap this video up, and we'll call it for the next one, for the manifold install and filling the fluids back up and then doing a test. See you on the next one.